Welcome back to my channel, Famous and Fabulous. In the eternal and hallowed center of Vatican City, after the solemn and widely broadcast inaugural mass that before the beginning of his papacy, he embraced his older brother Louie Lu Provost in St. Peter's Basilica and met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and the Honorable First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska. As these two sons bonded, the world dimmed. The Pope was still only Rob, Louis's younger brother. Pope Lou made light of his behavior, but he said he would not be referring to him as Your Holiness anytime soon. I'll give him the name Rob. Maybe I'll try to hug him, Lou said. To me, he will always be Rob. This event demonstrated that familial ties remain even in the face of global significance. A high-level delegation from the United States, a country with a sizable Catholic population and much international clout, was represented by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his wife Jeanette Dusts Rubio, as well as Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife Usha Vance. On the 14th, Pope Leo XIV took the opportunity to personally welcome the Secretary of State and the Vice President. The attendance of Secretary Rubio, a well-known figure in U.S. foreign policy, and Vice President Vance, whose conversion to Catholicism gives his link with the Holy See a personal dimension, highlighted the complex interrelationship between religion and global issues. In a moment that provided a stark contrast to the serious diplomatic engagements, these talks probably covered a broad range of international issues, from human rights and religious freedom to geopolitical stability, reflecting the United States and the Vatican's shared moral compass and global reach. In addition to these especially targeted encounters, Pope Leo XIV spent a large amount of his day welcoming a diverse group of international leaders who had traveled to Vatican City to attend his inauguration service. Italian President Sergio Mattarella and his spouse, Marica Chitis, were among the esteemed guests, signifying the strong relationship between Italy and the Holy See. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's firm attendance, which acknowledged the papacy's political importance for Italy. The royal greetings from King Felipe and Queen Letizia of Spain and King Felipe and Queen Matilda of Belgium symbolized the Catholic Church's historical and continuing importance in respective countries. Along with their Prime Minister Luc Frieden and his wife Margrethe Druglever Fortuyn, Luxembourg's Grand Duke Jean and Grand Duchess Maria Theresa also paid their respects, emphasizing the Vatican's significance to even smaller European nations. Princess Charlene and Prince Albert of Monaco's graceful attendance enhanced the esteemed event. Marcelo Rebelo Sousa, the President of Portugal, gave the warmest congratulations as the march of world leaders continued. The cordial conversation with Karen Keller-Sutter, the President of Switzerland, and her husband, Morten Keller. The important attendance of Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, and her husband Heiko, highlighting the European Union's interaction with the moral and social authority of the Vatican. Prince Edward, the Honourable Duke of Edinburgh, represented the United Kingdom. Along with his family, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney gave a heartfelt welcome. Prime Ministers Andrej Plenković of Croatia, Friedrich Merz and Charlotte Merz of Germany, François Beau of France, Anthony Albanese of Australia, Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, and Prime Minister Dick Scoff also paid their respects. Every interaction serves as a symbol of the complex network of social, political, and spiritual ties that bind the Vatican to countries all over the world. In conclusion, the first day after his installation of Pope Leo XIV was a masterfully planned mosaic of intimate moments and diplomatic engagement. Heat is that. The newly appointed Pope showed obvious enthusiasm at the entrance of the Ukrainian delegation. The handshake between President Zelensky and Pope Leo went beyond simple protocol. The Vatican's profound and enduring sorrow for the violent war engulfing Ukraine was manifested in a concrete way. Olena Zelenska's presence was a moving reminder of the human suffering and tenacity of the Ukrainian people. Later, a potent visual metaphor for the spiritual comfort sought amid the devastation of war was provided by the image of Pope Leo and President Zelensky standing in silent contemplation before a renowned icon of the Virgin Mary and Child. Although the details of their subsequent private discussion were not made public, it surely covered the pressing humanitarian crisis, the likelihood of peace, and the potential contribution of the Church to promoting reconciliation. The two leaders' thoughtful gift-giving to one another strengthened this important conversation and symbolized their common concern for human dignity. His conversations with Presidents Zelensky and Belatti demonstrated the Vatican's dedication to tackling urgent world concerns, and his tender hug with his brother Louis served as a moving reminder of the enduring strength of family. Pope Leo XIV's leadership on the international scene was anticipated, and the wide reception of world leaders further demonstrated the papacy's enormous global relevance. The day was a potent example of the Pope's challenging job as a spiritual leader, who must negotiate the intricacies of the contemporary world while maintaining a strong foundation in human relationships.